Adam's going to start us off in Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, Adam. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and Rachel. How are you both doing today?
Great, man.
Doing
What's
great.
up?
So my question is whether I should buy or rent. So a little background. I'm currently serving in the Army, getting ready to move duty stations here this summer. My next assignment will be for about 3 years, and I'm just wondering what is going to set me up in the best position to buy or rent.
It's a great question, Adam. Number one, thanks for your service. We appreciate that. Everyone that serves, we greatly honor you and appreciate you. And when it comes to buying a home and staying in something long-term, kind of the rule of thumb that we always use is around 5 years. So if you're going to be somewhere 5 years and permanently stay there, then investing into a home is a great option. But we've talked to a lot of military folks out there that, that you guys, in essence of what you do, that you are moving constantly. And sometimes it's more of a headache to own something and try to keep that going versus just renting, because oftentimes it's short term, like you said, just 3 years. So usually the rule of thumb there is if you're there 5 years or longer, that's when I would recommend buying.
Here's the two sides of the equation, Adam, and you can run the equation for yourself, all right? What happens too many times is guys in the military, gals in the military think, oh, owning a home's always smart. Everybody should own a home. You ought to buy a house. You ought to buy a house. And they buy a house in a military community where there's constant turnover, and it's very difficult to sell a house because there's always a bunch of houses for sale. Also, they don't always go up in value as much because there's always a bunch of houses for sale. And then they end up, oh, well, I'll just rent it. And you look up at the end of your career and you got 7 rental properties in 7 different cities that were former residences that you became a landlord by default. Well, that we don't want you to do. And you don't want to do that. Okay? Now, the times that you can buy is what Rachel's saying, when you reach a point in your career or you take the type of a position in your career where you're going to be there a little longer, it's going to make sense. Even if you're there only 3 years, there's a few times it might work. And here's how you can actually do the math to make the decision. Okay? You can contact one of our ELPs in the area, one of our real estate ELPs in the area, and you're looking for 2 things in that market. And I would go back a couple of years. I wouldn't count this last 12 months because they're weird in the real estate market. But other than the last 12 months, I would say, what is the average appreciation rate within 5 or 10 miles of the area I'm looking at? Okay? And if the average appreciation rate is 3% and you're there 3 years, you're going to lose money when you resell. You understand?
Okay.
But if the average appreciation rate, not counting whacked out 21, okay, or at the end of 20, if the average appreciation rate is 7 to 10, well, it's going to go up 30% while you're there. And, you could probably make money, agreed?
Right.
But you need to be able to resell it. And that's the second statistic you're looking for, which is DOM, days on the market. What's the average days on the market on homes within a 10-mile radius of where I am looking? If the average days on the market is 270, that's 9 freaking months. You're stuck in this house. You can't give it away. You don't buy there. You follow me? But if the average days on the market within a 10-mile radius is 3 days or 21 days or something like that, that's a pretty hot market. Oh, by the way, you're going to see these numbers correlate. If you're seeing good increases in value, you're going to see short days on the market. You're going to see them together. If you see long days on the market, you're going to see lower increases in value. And it literally depends on the area. I mean, if you're Navy and you get stationed in San Diego, you probably can roll in and out of that baby and make some money.
Yeah.
But if you're in the plains of Kansas and there's no one within a 20-mile radius except military people, you're not going to get out of that one. That's not going to be a long-term investment for you unless you're there long-term. So that's the way you can run the numbers on it and tell. But most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time when you do all that, you're going to discover, if I'm here 3 years, it doesn't make sense.
Well, and even that, I mean, whether it's, military, or we even talk to young couples that, they just newlyweds that get married, they want a house. But just the factor of owning a home and everything that it takes to keep up with that, there's just a level of that responsibility you always have to filter through when you own a home because it's all yours.
The more
You're
crap
having
you,
to pay
yeah, the
for
more
it.
the more crap you own, the more repairmen you have to know.
100%.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's, and I think within the military, I know different positions take, different levels of stress for sure. But especially if you're in a stress filled, role in the military, there's a part of you that's like, there's a,
Yeah, just don't worry about it.
yeah, it's something you don't have to worry about when you're renting.
Don't worry about the
especially
heat
if
and
you're
air
there
going out. We'll call the
3 years.
landlord.
I
Yeah.
know. I don't know. There's something I like about that.
Yeah, call the landlord and go, hey, your house is broke. Come fix it.
Come fix it.
Yeah.
And then it gets
then
fixed.
you're done. That's it. Yeah.
Mhm.